What's up guys, Lewis here from Indiecredible, and as always we are here to bring you what indie games are releasing on your consoles this week. Apologies that this video is a little bit late this week. We had a couple of hiccups at the beginning of the week, but nevertheless we are here now. So without further ado, let's jump into this week's releases. Malaka looks to be an intriguing, historically inspired adventure game that boasts a pretty stunning low-poly art style. The game is inspired by the history of the Tarahumara people, a tribe that populated northern Mexico. The Tarahumara are known for their speed and athletic ability, both of which look to play a key role in the slick action, which sees you taking on a host of creatures all inspired by the region's mythological lore. Malaka has a bit of a fragmented release week, coming to the PS4 on the 27th of February, Nintendo Switch on the 1st of March, and Xbox on the 2nd of March. Gravel is a racing game that looks to offer the ultimate off-road experience. Each racing event is a no-holds-barred competition to come out on top, and by on top we mean picking up the most attention on the Gravel's channel TV web, the wildest racing channel on the net. Gravel offers 3 different events for you to compete in: cross country, which sees you racing across large landscapes with different layouts each time; Wild Run, which are lapped races around some pretty crazy environments; and Speed Cross, which sees you competing across real-world locations. Gravel is releasing on PS4 and Xbox One on the 27th of February. Streets of Red Devil's Dare Deluxe looks to break the mould of what we expect from classic-inspired brawlers. Firstly, the game brings more of a horror emphasis to the gameplay, even with the odd horror movie cameo thrown in. Where Streets of Red mixes things up even more is with the use of its in-game currency. Your quarters can be used to upgrade your abilities, making later levels more accessible, but you also need your quarters to continue when you die, and with death bringing the dreaded permadeath, how you spend your quarters will be very important in this co-op brawler. Streets of Red Devil's Dare Deluxe is releasing on PS4 and Nintendo Switch on the 27th of February. Shiny is an adventure platformer that puts you in control of Kramer 227 in the hope to show you that robots can have a heart. After all humans have abandoned the planet Aurora due to the inevitable collision with the sun, poor Kramer 227 is left to die. But using his small amount of energy source, you may be able to save both Kramer and his robot companions from what looks to be a certain doom. Shiny is releasing on PS4 on the 27th of February. VRFC, which stands for Virtual Reality Football Club, is a first-person football game only playable in VR. Matches play out in 5v5 games. We can either play with the AI or against 7 real-world players in 8-player online matches. Now, if you're thinking, wouldn't 8-player matches mean 4 a side? Well, that's because the keepers are controlled by the computer. You certainly can't accuse developers cherry-pop games for not trying something new. And we're looking forward to seeing how VRFC turns out on the 27th of February when it releases on PSVR. Moss is no doubt one of the most anticipated VR games to release in 2018, and now the game is playable. This adorable adventure game looks to take everything that we love about action puzzle genre and deliver it in the immersive VR experience. Developed from the ground up for VR, Moss sees you controlling a rather cute mouse through a fantasy-inspired world. Defeating heroes, solving puzzles, and exploring this intriguing world are all part of this mouse's day-to-day life. Moss is releasing on PSVR on the 27th of February. Riffs Raiders is a classic-inspired shmup that throws you into a political clash between a government, aliens, and the feds in all-out space combat. All of the 9 stages offer either single-player playthroughs or the ability to invite friends in up to crazy 4-player co-op fun. Everything you'd expect from a retro shmup is here, including the ability to customise your ship, pick up game-changing power-ups, and lay waste to every enemy with some sick, over-the-top action. Rift Raiders is coming to PS4 and Xbox One on the 27th of February. Blasters of the Universe is a VR game that boasts some pretty awesome looking bullet hell gameplay. The cyberpunk low-poly art style looks to add even more frantic tension to the immersive experience. What looks to be a really nice feature in Blasters of the Universe is the ability to build your own weapons from over 1,000 different combinations. Like classic bullet hell games, success comes in the replay value, learning the sweet spot of each stage, and Blasters of the Universe is no different. Blasters of the Universe is coming to PSVR on the 27th of February.
Worst hangover ever. Guess we're not in Kansas anymore. Bring it on, you fuckers!
Immortal Redneck is a roguelike FPS that challenges you to blast your way through a series of pyramids. As with all true roguelites, the ever-looming permadeath could be hiding around any corner, but with death brings the opportunity to spend your collected gold on new stats and abilities, meaning that in theory, you should progress further each time. But that's just in theory. The fast, frantic and slick Immortal Redneck is available on PS4 and Xbox One on the 27th of February.
I'm gonna show you who's the boss now.
There is a great horror beneath the manor. A crawling chaos that must be destroyed.
Darkest Dungeons released on most platforms last year, but now the punishing RPG is making its way to the Xbox. The game sees you challenged with the task of leading a group of adventurers through a mansion into the Darkest Dungeons, but this is by no means a simple task. The grueling enemies you'll face off against in tense turn-based battles aren't your only concern, as stress can be just as crippling. Each adventurer has their own stress levels, and if it tips over the edge, then this can lead to some pretty unpredictable outcomes. Good job the game also features some bars and brothels to help ease the tension of your adventurers. Darkest Dungeons is coming to Xbox One on the 28th of February.
The Darkest Dungeon.
Paper Wars Cannon Fodder Devastated sees the Wii's much-loved tower defense game come to the Nintendo Switch. The Devastated version is more than just a remaster, as not only does it bring a new slick visual style, but also a whole new campaign, one that focuses around zombies this time. For those unaware of what Paper Wars is, simply put, you get into your tank and blow up anything that comes towards you on the battlefield, which, as you can imagine, is actually pretty fun. Paper Wars Cannon Fodder Devastated is releasing on Nintendo Switch on the 1st of March. A Whole New World is an action platformer that looks to capture all the joy of the NES era. Playing as the Potion Master, you must make your way through the 5 different worlds to rid the land of a new evil. Don't expect any help from the game. No tutorials, no assist mode, not even an easy setting, just like the good old days. The only help you will receive is from your fairy sidekick friend, Faye. With its no doubt challenging gameplay and visuals straight out of the 80s, A Whole New World looks to be a great addition to any retro gaming fan, and can be picked up when it releases on the Nintendo Switch on the 1st of March. Subsurface Circular is a modern take on the classic adventure game genre. Playing as a detective stationed on the Subsurface Circular, you must chat with the locals and pick up the lingo. By learning new words, you'll gain access to new investigative options. Subsurface Circular is from the brilliant team that brought us Thomas Was Alone and offers an intelligent narrative experience that can be played through in one sitting. Subsurface Circular is releasing on the Nintendo Switch on the 1st of March. Totes the Goat sees the popular mobile voxel art puzzle game make its way to the Switch. Each level plays around the mechanic of you or Tote restoring life to the dull voxel squares. By doing so, you'll open up a gate to the next world. But unlocking this gate isn't a hop in the park. You'll need to avoid a host of creatures while on your hoppy adventure if you wish to progress. Totes the Goat is releasing on Nintendo Switch on the 1st of March. Detention is another example that Nintendo aren't afraid of broadening their horizons and bringing more horror games to the Nintendo Switch. Inspired by a 1960s Taiwan that's under martial law, Detention sees you controlling a group of students into a school that's been overcome by supernatural elements. Gameplay plays out in 2D side-scrolling fashion, with chunky narrative sections presenting themselves in classic graphic novel style. Detention can be picked up on the Nintendo Switch when it releases on the 1st of March. Shopkeep is a weird and wonderful take on a classic management style game. Set in a quirky fantasy land, you are put in charge of a shop. You'll need to decide layout, stock and prices, all in the hope to become the richest shop owner in all the land. But this isn't as easy as it sounds. Setting your prices too high and you'll soon see thieves nabbing your precious stock. Luckily, the game also allows you to deal with these thieves pretty much any way you choose. Shopkeep is releasing on Xbox One on the 2nd of March.
Hold on to your butts and your babies. This will be a bumpy ride to a new frontier. Let's see.
Now, if you're thinking that you've already heard of Pit People, then that's because the game has been in Xbox Game Preview for the past year, and now Pit People is getting a full release. This quirky turn-based adventure sees you building an army from a variety of downright weird creatures. As your army grows, you'll take on deadly vampires, sinister robots, and the most brutal of all, the Cupcake People. Pit People can be played as a solo or co-op adventure and also features multiplayer only arena battles. The game is coming out of game preview on the 2nd of March.
That should be nice and confusing for you. That's all you need to know.
Super Toy Cars has slowly been making its way to all consoles over the past 3 years, and now this Micro Machines inspired racer is coming to the Switch. The tabletop racing takes place over 12 different tracks, each with their own hidden shortcuts to find. The ability to whip off those Joy-Cons on the Switch may make it the best place to play Super Toy Cars when it releases on the 2nd of March. That wraps up another week of indie game releases. As always, we'd love to know what you're looking forward to playing in the comments below. And to keep up to date with more indie game stuff, or maybe even hear what we've been playing as a team, then check out the latest episode of the Indie Cradle podcast. And to keep up to date with all things indie games, make sure you subscribe and head on over to indie-credible.com.